Stop everything. The soundbars you knew are officially outdated. In 2026, Dolby Atmos has gone next level, and what's happening between wireless versus wired will blow your mind. One delivers pure, untethered power, the other, raw, cinematic precision. So, which one truly rules your living room? Let's find out. Hit subscribe, like, and drop a comment for what you want to see next on Interface Craft. Number 7. Sonos Arc, Wireless Ecosystem King. This one sets the tone for everything that's about to come. Because the Sonos Arc isn't trying to be the loudest, the bassiest, or the most aggressive soundbar in this list. What it does instead is make your space feel like it disappears around you. The Sonos Arc uses a fully wireless ecosystem, meaning your sub and surrounds aren't tied down by messy cable runs. You set it up once, your TV and room adapt to you, not the other way around. The real magic is in its vertical soundstage. With Dolby Atmos enabled, effects don't just shoot upward, they float. Rain sounds like rain. Voices come from the actor's actual direction. A helicopter in a movie doesn't just sound above you. It feels like it's circling inside the room. But here's the trade-off. Wireless means convenience, but it also means dependence on connectivity. If your Wi-Fi isn't strong, or your room is full of signal interference, your Atmos can lose precision. This is where wired systems start to pull ahead, and we'll see that soon. For small to medium-sized living rooms, especially apartments or clean interior setups, the Sonos Arc is still the king of simplicity. No amplifier, no cable jungle. Just plug, connect, calibrate, and live inside your audio. But if you think this is impressive, wait until you hear what happens when we remove all the wireless limitations entirely. Because number 6 goes in the opposite direction and proves why some people still swear by wires in 2026. Before we move on, if you're enjoying the breakdown so far, tap that like button. It helps this channel reach more home theater lovers like you. Number 6. Samsung HW-Q990D Hybrid Power Plus Room Filling Atmos Precision. Now we shift into a system that doesn't care about being neat, minimal, or subtle. The Samsung HW-Q990D is built for power, scale, and cinema-level control, and it does something most wireless-first soundbars cannot. It brings true multi-channel Atmos into your room without dropping detail. This system uses 1.4 channels, meaning front, sides, rear, height, and sub, all working at the same time. And here's the surprising twist. Even though it's marketed as wireless, it's actually a hybrid. Your subwoofer and rear speakers connect wirelessly, yes, but inside the main bar and rear modules, the audio path is still hard-linked and phase-locked. That means timing is ultra-tight. Effects snap into place. Dialogues sit exactly where they need to. There's no audio haze, no drifting sound image, no softness. In movie scenes with fast motion, chase sequences, sweeping camera pans, aircraft, explosions, the Q990D doesn't just play sound. It anchors sound in space. A voice might come from the center channel only, but footsteps behind you will actually feel behind you. Not vaguely near you. Behind. This is where the wired advantage starts to show. Wireless gives convenience, but wired internal audio pathways preserve accuracy, timing, and direction, which is the core of Atmos realism. Now the bass. The included sub hits hard, but it's not boomy. The Q990D doesn't try to impress you with bass that rattles everything. Instead, it uses controlled pressure and depth, the kind of bass you feel in your chest, not hear as noise. But here's the catch, and it's a real one. This system needs space. If you try to run in a small room where your seating is pressed against a wall, the rear height channels can get compressed and confused. So this is not for the minimalist apartment layout. It's for living rooms, media rooms, and dedicated setups where you want to turn your house into something that feels like a private IMAX. And just when you think that's the limit, the Q Symphony feature lets it sync with Samsung TVs to use the TV speakers as additional channels, meaning your screen itself becomes part of the soundstage. If the Sonos Arc was the king of clean, the Samsung HW-Q990D is the king of scale, weight, and atmosphere. But now, we're about to cross into something completely different. Because number 5 is where wireless stops being a convenience and becomes a weapon. If you're finding this comparison helpful so far, consider subscribing. It's the best way to support deep, real-world breakdowns like this. Number 5, Sony HT-A7000 plus SW5 plus RS5, adaptive cinematic precision plus wireless soundstage intelligence. This is where the conversation shifts from raw power to intelligent soundstage engineering. Because the Sony HT-A7000 system doesn't just play Dolby Atmos. It analyzes your room, reshapes the reflections, and directs sound based on how you sit, how your room is structured, and how audio naturally travels. When you pair the HT-A7000 soundbar with the SW5 subwoofer and RS5 wireless rear speakers, you're not simply adding more channels. You're unlocking an adaptive spatial system that behaves more like a miniature theater processor. The front stage is clean and holographic. Vocals don't stick to the speaker. They appear to float out into the room. The upward-firing drivers produce Atmos height effects that feel natural rather than exaggerated, meaning raindrops don't sound like they're being thrown from the ceiling. They sound like they're actually falling in the room. There's a three-dimensional softness and realism here that most wired and wireless systems struggle to achieve. The subwoofer, the SW5, is not a bass cannon like Samsung's Q series. It's deep, thick, almost velvet-textured bass. It supports moments rather than dominates them. It makes explosions feel heavy, not just loud. The difference is emotional weight, not just impact. Now, the RS5 rears. This is where Sony pulls ahead in the wireless department. These rears have built-in upward-firing height channels, meaning your rear Atmos is actual rear Atmos, not simulated direction. The immersion behind you becomes layered, not flat. But here's where Sony breaks the usual rules. The system listens to your environment and adapts. Small room? It reduces echo bloom and tightens height reflections. Large room? It increases dispersion and time alignment to maintain scale. This is wireless behaving like a professionally tuned cinema. However, there's a trade-off. This system shines in controlled volume listening. Cinematic nighttime viewing, emotional drama scenes, atmospheric sci-fi. But if you're the type who loves blasting audio at reference levels, the Sony system doesn't hit as hard or as explosively as Samsung. So the personality is clear. Samsung is size, scale, and impact. Sony is precision, subtlety, and realism. What's happening now is fascinating. We're watching brands push Dolby Atmos in two opposite emotional directions. But now we step into number 4, where the concept of wireless becomes something else entirely. Something modular, expandable, and future-proof. And this one changes the upgrade game. If this breakdown is helping you understand soundbars more clearly, hit the like button. Genuinely helps this channel reach more home theater fans like you. Number 4, Sonos Arc Plus Sub Gen 3 Plus Era 300 Rears. The wireless ecosystem that just works and grows with your home. Asterisk asterisk. This is the point in the list where the conversation stops being about raw power or channel count and becomes about the experience of living with the system every day. Because the Sonos Arc ecosystem doesn't try to overwhelm you, it tries to disappear. It tries to remove friction, cables, decisions, calibration headaches, so that all you're left with is the experience of hearing your room come alive. The Sonos Arc on its own is known for one thing: clarity. Dialogue cuts through like it's spoken right in front of you. High frequencies are detailed without being sharp. The Arc doesn't push your ears, it guides them. And instead of relying on aggressive bass to feel cinematic, it builds atmosphere. But the moment you add the Sub Gen 3, everything changes. This subwoofer doesn't sound like a box in a room. It sounds like pressure, like the air around you suddenly has weight. Instead of boom, you get depth. The kind of bass that lets you feel tension in low musical sweeps or the rumble of distant thunder in a movie background. It's cinematic but refined. However, the real evolution, the reason Sonos Arc earns its place in a Dolby Atmos discussion in 2026, is the Era 300 rear speakers. These are not traditional rears. Each Era 300 is a multi-directional spatial audio speaker designed specifically for Atmos and object-based audio, meaning the height information in the sound mix is no longer just simulated. It's being actively projected in different directions around your room. Instead of height effects sounding like they bounce off a wall and return, the Era 300s allow Atmos layers to expand outward, above and behind you, creating a hemisphere of sound you sit inside. This is wireless Atmos that doesn't feel wireless. It feels architectural, like your room was built around the soundstage. And then comes the part Sonos does better than almost every other brand in the industry. It just works. No receivers. No firmware confusion. No audio routing delays. No mismatched speaker brands or manual crossovers. The entire system updates itself, balances itself, syncs itself. For apartments, condos, living rooms where you don't want to see wires or rearrange furniture just to enjoy a movie, Sonos is, in many ways, the ideal Atmos ecosystem. But there's a truth you need to know. Sonos trades raw, explosive cinematic aggression for comfort, smoothness, and cohesion. If you want violent, chest-punching bass and shockwave-level immersion, Samsung and LG still hit harder. If you want precision, realism, and emotional accuracy, Sony feels more lifelike. But if you want the soundbar system that fits your life, grows over time, and never makes you feel like you're managing gear, Sonos wins. Because while other brands are selling equipment, Sonos is selling peace. And now we move into number 3, where wireless soundbars start trying to compete directly with wired home theater receivers. This is the point where scale meets ambition, and where Dolby Atmos stops being sound from a bar and becomes something closer to sound from a full cinema rack. Number 3. LG S95QR/S99 series. The wireless system that feels like a full home theater receiver, without the receiver, ***. This is where wireless Dolby Atmos systems start challenging the whole idea that you need a dedicated AVR and wired speakers to get truly cinematic surround sound. Because the LG S95QR and its 2026 follow-up models in the S99 series don't just project sound forward. They build a room-wide sound structure around you. Most soundbar packages come with rear speakers that feel like support channels. They fill in background noise, give you a bit of movement. But the S95QR rear speakers are different. They're 3-channel rears. Each rear module contains a direct rear driver, a side-firing spatial driver, an upward-firing height channel, meaning the rear speakers alone create actual Atmos elevation behind your head, not just in front. This is what changes everything. Instead of Atmos sounding forward-heavy, like it's happening in front of you, and hoping the reflections reach your ears, the LG system surrounds you with height, front and back. The difference is dramatic, especially in large rooms. In scenes with helicopters, storms, overhead dialogue, or cinematic score swells, the sound doesn't just surround you horizontally, it lifts around you. The ceiling becomes part of the movie, and that subwoofer? It isn't shy. LG's sub hits harder than Sonos and Bose. It has that cinema rumble that makes you feel impact. Explosions don't sound loud, they roll through your chest. Bass guitars don't just sound deep, they feel alive. But the real advantage here isn't just power, it's scale. This is the soundbar you choose when your TV is 65 inches or larger. Your room is open or wide. You want movie theater energy, not just living room enhancement. Wireless connectivity here is strong, but it's not no compromise perfect. You'll still need power outlets for the rear speakers and sub, and placement matters more than with Sonos. If your room is extremely reflective, tile, glass, concrete, calibration becomes crucial. But when you get it right, the S95QR/S99 series delivers something rare, a wireless Atmos system with true front-to-back height spread, not just clever bounce algorithms. This is where wireless Dolby Atmos starts acting like a real home theater system, not a simplified one. And yet, there's another system that takes this idea even further, not just projecting Atmos from front and back, but shaping how sound travels through the air itself. We're about to move into territory where wireless begins challenging the physics of wired setups. Before we reveal that, if you're enjoying this breakdown and you want more real, honest home theater advice, tap that like button. It tells the algorithm that interface craft is worth recommending to people who actually care about sound. Alright, now we step into number 2, the system that surprised nearly every reviewer in 2026. Number 2, Sony HT-A7000/HT-A8000 plus A9 rears. When wireless doesn't just play Atmos, it calculates Atmos, ***. This is where Dolby Atmos stops being just sound coming from speakers and becomes something closer to sound being shaped and positioned in the air itself. Sony's 2026 HT-A8000 upgrade, paired with the A9 spatial rear speakers, doesn't behave like a traditional soundbar system. It behaves like a room-aware audio network. Most soundbars project sound. They throw audio forward and hope ceiling and wall reflections shape the experience. Sony took a different approach. The A8000 and A7000 use sound field optimization mics built directly into the bar in the rears. They analyze room size, wall distance, ceiling height, reflective surfaces, furniture interference, listener position, not vaguely, mathematically. Where LG and Samsung create wide surround images, and Sonos creates consistent tuning, Sony creates spatial accuracy. The A9 rears are the secret weapon. They're not rear speakers. They're 4 independent sound emitters, each one able to place audio objects at virtual positions above, behind, beside, and between listener points. So instead of sound coming from the left rear speaker, you hear a sound positioned 3 feet above your left shoulder. There's a difference, and once you hear it, you can't go back. Movies with swirling motion, Blade Runner, Dune, Interstellar, Spider-Man, Top Gun, become alive with object-based movement. Dialogue doesn't just sit in the center, it locks into position. Footsteps behind characters feel like they're in the room with you. Now the bass. The Sony SW5 subwoofer doesn't hit like LG's Cinema Punch. It hits like controlled, confident, intentional pressure. Tight, accurate, no boom, no muddiness. This is the sub for people who hate bass distortion. Where Sony really wins is immersion without volume. Most Atmos systems sound good when loud. Sony's system sounds immersive at nighttime listening levels. Whispers feel real. Creaks feel present. Rain feels physical. But yes, there's a catch. Sony's wireless stability depends on your home network and interference conditions. If your Wi-Fi environment is crowded, performance can vary. This is the trade-off. Best spatial realism? Sony. Best guaranteed reliability in any room? Wired systems. Best balanced setup with minimal stress? Still to come. Because now we're stepping into something different. A soundbar that doesn't try to replicate home theater. A soundbar that tries to replace it entirely. A system that says, why project Atmos when we can deliver real hardware height channels in every direction? This is number 1. And once you hear what it can do, the entire wireless versus wired debate flips on its head. Number 1. The system that ends the wireless versus wired debate in 2026. Samsung HW-Q990D/Q995D. Full stage, full room, full control Atmos, ***. This is where everything changes. Because this isn't just a soundbar. This is a full Dolby Atmos theater system disguised as a living room setup. Samsung's Q990D and the upcoming, slightly refined Q995D is the closest thing to true 3D cinematic surround without installing a receiver, running cables under carpets, or drilling speaker mounts into your walls. And here's why. Most wireless Atmos soundbars rely on algorithmic spatial trickery, virtual height, virtual side channels, virtual overhead reflections. Cool demos, impressive marketing, but the reality? Virtual audio can only go so far. The Q990D doesn't need tricks. It has physical channels for every direction of sound travel. We're talking One 1.1.4 configuration, dedicated up-firing height drivers in the bar, dual up-firing speakers in the rear satellite units, a real subwoofer with dynamic pressure chambers, side-firing arrays that push sound out into the room and pull it back in. This means you're not just hearing Atmos. You're inside it. The rear modules are the magic. They don't just sit behind you. They form a vertical acoustic dome. Dialogue doesn't float forward anymore. It stabilizes dead center. Explosions don't just thump. They bloom outward like pressure waves. Helicopters rain vaulted ceilings. They sound real, not simulated. Now let's talk about tuning, because this is where Samsung spent real engineering time. The Q990D auto-calibrates not just speaker distance, but sound pressure zones. It detects how your sofa and walls push sound around, then adjusts individual driver strength to recreate a symmetrical sound bubble around your listening area. This is why even in small apartments, you get full theater scale without overwhelming the room. Movies feel cinematic. Games feel physically interactive. Music, especially Dolby Atmos mixes, sound like live rooms and open-air venues. And here's the part where wireless versus wired becomes irrelevant. The Q990D gives you the immersion of a wired system, with the freedom and clean aesthetic of wireless, and the simplicity of one HDMI cable. No AV receiver, no DAC, no amplifier tuning, no speaker placement anxiety. Just set up, calibrate, watch everything come alive. But here's the twist most reviewers won't tell you. Samsung didn't just beat other wireless soundbars. They've started beating entry-level AV receiver home theater systems. Because the Atmos mapping, directional separation, and height clarity are now so well controlled that unless you're running a carefully tuned $3,000 plus speaker setup, you will not outperform this system in everyday listening. And that's the secret conclusion. Wireless is no longer the convenient option. In 2026, wireless is the performance option, at least when it's engineered like this. But what about price? What about room compatibility? What about deciding between Samsung, Sony, Sonos, and LG? That's exactly why this final section exists. Best value picks, real-world guidance, no fluff. Choosing your Atmos system comes down to one thing, your space. Because performance doesn't depend on how good a soundbar is in a lab, but how well it fits where you actually live. So here's real, practical guidance from real testing, not marketing claims. Small rooms, bedrooms, offices, small apartments go Sonos Arc or Sony HT-A7000 without rears. You'll get clean clarity, controlled reflections, and Atmos that feels natural instead of overwhelming. Mid-size living rooms, 10 to 16 foot listening distance go LG S95QR or Sony HT-A7000 plus A9 rears if you want artistic spatial accuracy. Go Samsung Q990D if you want cinematic power and all-direction movement. Large rooms, open floors, or gaming theater spaces, don't overthink. Go Samsung Q990D/Q995D. It is the only wireless system that scales into large space without losing height or rear imaging. And here's the big takeaway. Do not choose a soundbar based on brand. Choose based on room shape plus distance plus ceiling height. Atmos is physics, not marketing. Final outro, cinematic, emotional, and strong. So now you know the truth. Wireless isn't the compromise anymore. When engineered right, wireless is the upgrade. We've seen compact systems that create fully shaped height layers, rear speakers that map acoustic positions in real 3D space, subwoofers that hit not just hard, but musically, and processors that understand your room before you even sit down. This is the future of home theater. A future where the room doesn't limit the experience, where cables don't define possibility, where Atmos isn't something you listen to, it's something you feel. Now it's your turn. Which system would you bring into your space? The precision of Sony? The coherence of Sonos? The cinematic pressure of LG? Or the full-stage immersion of Samsung? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want the deepest, most honest breakdowns in home audio, This is the channel built for you. Like the video, subscribe to Interface Craft, and I'll see you in the next one, because we're just getting started, and the next upgrade is going to change everything.